out of their opponents during streams. They don't seem to have jitters whatsoever. And if I do say so myself, Mitch seems to play even better when he's on stream. It seems like when he's on the spot, he really thrives under the pressure.
Yeah, and one thing we haven't seen from the Spartans a lot is pulling out Deck, who is supposed to be their star player, who's the #1 pick in the RLPC draft for season 12. So it's kind of surprising that they've gone this 5-2 record without even using their star player. But we will see what the Hawks have to say about that.
They have used Deck a few times.
They have used him a few times.
They have, but not as much as you'd expect a 2000 player to be.
Exactly what I'm meaning. Is he's not used a lot, as you would assume, as players like Alexi and Andy, who are some of the other 2K players.
Yes, exactly. Anyway, the Spartans are in gray. The Hawks are in blue. Game number 1 underway.
Early double commit coming out from Insanity and Rot, and now Mitch getting beat here by, I believe it was Bob. These names are hard to read for all of them as they have custom names, but we will make do. Now Insanity taking it up the wall, trying to get it past, I believe it was Jonesy. Now Rot's getting it middle for Mitch. It's a good 50 by Mitch and Bob right there. And the ball was kind of sitting in front of that net for a while. Renro getting a fat flick over the defense as far as Insanity. And now Jonesy will try to cut this off, but Insanity continues the pressure. Bob missing that ball right there, and that will just roll into the net as Insanity backflips the way.
Yeah, that's just quite unfortunate. That one just bounces there, and oh no, that's just sad to see. No one can really get to it in time, and that's just a sad rolling goal that goes into the net. Thankfully, we didn't see one of those in the tight match last series, I should say. But this one is starting off with one. So let's see if we'll see any more this series.
Mitch already showing his skill, going off of his own side, air dribbling it all the way to the Spartans end. And now Rot's gonna look for a shot here. It's a great contest in the middle by Jonesy. Now Insanity trying to get a pass middle, gets bumped up by, I believe it looked like it was Renro, to mess up that pass a little bit. Now Rot's, and I believe it was Mitch going off for the same ball right there, but luckily Insanity is back for them, trying to get the shot in the middle, and Mitch has a shot, but it's an even better save by Jonesy coming out of nowhere to make that 50 happen. And now Jonesy taking it up his own wall, trying to get it across the field. Mitch 50s him right here, and now Insanity hitting it to the backboard looking for Mitch, but it's a good clear out there by Bob. Now Renro gonna 50 Rots right now, and Jonesy will take the ball up the field. Bob continuing to try to get this ball out for the Spartans. As I say that, Jonesy smacking it into Bob, who gets it down on the opposite side of the field. Bob with a nice backflip that goes middle, and Jonesy is able to capitalize and finish off that pass.
I think that hit off of Bob, which I think was accidental, actually turned into their favor there. And Mitch, just under the ball, and it just floated. It didn't get any power from that, and it just landed right on Jonesy's hood. So that was a great pass and play from Bob and Jonesy, but it turned out much into the advantage of the Spartans there, and all by accident.
And this, I have to say, my favor is in the Hawks right now, though, as they've come out very strong on offense. I believe that was the only chance the Spartans had all game, and they were able to capitalize on it, which is important. Being able to capitalize on the opportunities you get is definitely a thing you want to be able to do. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
getting your opportunities right, even if you have very, very small ones, right? If you don't have that many, you still want as many opportunities and capitalize on them as possible, right? But if you have a low amount of opportunities, capitalizing on the most of them possible is key.
Yeah, and Jonesy now gonna bang it down the field where Roth will get a nice clear off his own backboard. Bob sending it to the corner where Jonesy will be looking to follow this one up, trying to get it under Insanity, who's able to read it and get the save. Now Renro almost able to get that angle for the shot, which would have been a pretty nuts angle, but unfortunately it skims off the crossbar. And now Rot's 50ing it to the opposite side of the Spartans corner, and it's a good pop-up mid for Insanity, who will send it over to the left wall of the Hawks. And now Bob, maybe with a tactical whiff there, which ends up being a 50 between Jonesy and Mitch. Insanity sending it down the field where Bob will touch it to his own corner. Insanity gonna follow this one up right away, and it's a double commit coming up from the Hawks. this could be key to capitalize on, as all three of the Hawks players are down the field, and Jonesy will clean that up with his second goal.
What a save here by Renro. Off of the back wall, seeing that both players goes for this is a clear play that they completely pushed it, completely thinking that they had the goal. And Renro just saying no, taking that ball up the field, and no one can catch up to it. 2-1 in the name of the Spartans.
This is definitely a Spartans team we're used to seeing, and as I say that, Insanity has to score those open nets. Those are really vital, key to, that could have been the tie-up for this game that could have honestly mattered in the end. But like I was saying, the Spartans team showing how good they are at capitalizing on these mistakes of other teams, which is what's led to their 5-2 record.
Yeah, exactly. Capitalizing on other people's mistakes is very important, as that one's a mistake by Mitch, I do have to say. He was right there waiting for the pass, and he just couldn't get it on his hood there, sadly. Goes off the crossbar, and it's cleared out. And that's advantage taken. They just could not find the rebound after it just laid on the goal line. But that's a mistake there. Overcompensation there. And a shot from the backfield corner by Insanity. It's not even that hard of a shot. It just surprises the third man back, and it just goes in.
Yeah, Bob a little bit cheated up there. Definitely not expecting that touch from Insanity to get it past him, and it just sails right into the, it just rolls into the net, and Spartans are left gazing at it as they're wondering who was supposed to be back for that one.
Well, Bob was the one to cheat on it, and his entire team paid the price for that cheat. But maybe that was what they wanted to try. They wanted to try something as cheating goes like that. But so far, the Hawks have had so many opportunities, and they just can't seem to put them away. I feel like the Hawks should be ahead in this game, right? Like they had all the chances. They've had 10 shots on net and only 4 saves. That means 4 of those shots went off the post on the side of the Hawks, and many of those other shots also went off the back wall and very wide and weren't considered shots. Meanwhile, 2 goals on how many shots is that for the 3 shots for the Spartans? 2 goals on 3 shots. They've capitalized, and their shot selection is very good. Quality over quantity there. So far, the Spartans are just playing a clean game. Meanwhile, that was a great attempt there by Mitch, trying to get a really hard and interesting shot there. Can't find the back of
That would have been an insane shot from Mitch, getting a little bit of a wheel redirect. But now Mitch will be looking to make something happen in place of that, and it's an unfortunate whiff by Renro, and Rot's not able to read it as he misses an open, or a somewhat open net finish right there.
Yeah, but that was a hard read, not gonna lie. That was a very hard read off of the ceiling.
Yeah, and now Mitch gonna try to take it down himself, but Bob is there to 50 him right away. Not letting Mitch have a lot of space is very important, as he is definitely a dangerous player when he has it. And that is what the Spartans team has to really do to kind of counter this Hawks team, is definitely never give Mitch the ball and space at the same time.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you want to do here. If you're the Spartans, you don't give Mitch anything to go with, right? And the second he does get something, well, he's shown that he's gonna try for things. And so far, one hasn't found the back of the net. Renro does find the back of the net, and Mitch makes 1 save, but he can't make 2. Mitch doing everything he can this game, offensively, defensively. It just didn't seem to go for him. It just didn't seem to connect. And the Spartans take game number 1 as they take advantage of the Hawks making many, many mistakes.
Yeah, and Jonesy with a great pass there after getting a double 50. Jonesy playing out of his mind that game. 2 goals out of 3 shots, 3 saves, and an assist. And yeah, Renro just able to kind of batter that one into the back of the net. And as you were saying, Mitch doing a lot on offense and defense that game with 5 shots and 2 saves. Insanity with the 2 goals for the Hawks. And yeah, honestly, looking at the Hawks with, I believe It was 15,
15 shots, and 4 of those
two,
went off the post.
so 15 shots and 2 goals is definitely not a very good percentage of shooting accuracy. So if they can start to capitalize on more of those goals, they will definitely be a threat for this Spartans team.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, the Hawks just need to be more accurate. That's all that they need to do right now, or else they've completely dominated the game. They just didn't have finish. That's all they needed. They need to limit the mistakes. They need to stop getting these stream jitters. I was saying that Mitch seems to perform better under the pressure of the stream, but right now I can't see that. I can't see under pressure stream Mitch right now.
I have to agree. Yeah, usually Mitch looks very calm and collected when playing on the big screen, but right now, missing 5 shots that he had is very surprising coming from a player of his quality. And actually, as we see that, Mitch is switching to the Octane, a possible key switch up for him. Maybe he has better accuracy on that car. I do not know. All I know is I know he mains the Dominus usually.
Yeah, some people will change their cars to try and get something going, you know? And is that on net? Is that going in? No, okay. I thought that was going to go in off of a long clear there, but it was just too slow for anything to happen. But yes, I like seeing people switch up their cars when things aren't really clicking for them. Just switching to another car might just incite something else. Yes, you're not used to that hitbox, but certain cars are good for certain things. And the Dominus, while it's good for dribbling and sealing touches and all that, the Octane is so good at everything in between, and it's a good middle car, honestly, and that's why everyone uses that in the Fennec, or most people anyway.
Now the Spartans looking to create some offense of their own, usually known for their counter-attacking play, but right now they are definitely trying to bring some pressure on their own. As I say that, Jonesy trying to get the double touch right here. Unfortunately, he misreads it by an inch or two, as he cannot find the second touch for the shot. And now that leaves the net wide open after it looks to be a double commit on the Spartan side. And Insanity with his 3rd goal for this Hawks team.
And this is the second time that the Spartans have shown that they're not perfect either. They do like to stay back and to counterattack and score their goals off of their their opponent's mistakes, but they make mistakes as well, and that's a big one that they do. They all cheat up. The third man is often over the middle line, and all 3 players are in the offensive zone, and I've seen this happen countless times, Game 1 and Game 2, and only twice have they been scored against for this push-up, but once again they've done it on this play, and if Insanity was able to get a harder clear there, that could have easily gone into the net. So right now, the Spartans are playing a very, very cheat, and they have full confidence in it, but they're paying the price in a goal per game so far.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, that's one thing the Spartans team have to work out. And as I say that, Rots with an insane save, falling down from the ceiling, able to jump it down on that ball and stop it from going in, as that would have been a sure goal if he was not there. And now Mitch gonna try to get a clear on this one. Unfortunately, he could not reach it as he has low boost on the backboard, and Jonesy with his, I believe, 3rd goal to take this game to a tie.
Tied at 1. We now have another close game. Last game went to overtime, but I think that the Hawks really dominated that one. Meanwhile, this game is a lot closer. 3 shots to 4 in Hawks have 3, Spartans have 4. But the saves are not as high as you'd think they'd be. You'd expect them to be a little bit higher. Most of these shots are going off the post because they're trying for those shot selections on the far side, and it's just not really helping both teams so far.
Finally, we see the Hawks get into the side of the Spartans. Insanity gonna look for a shot here off of a Mitch pass, and instantly the Spartans clear the ball out and try to create some offense of their own. I will say the Spartans are very good at that, getting the ball out of their half as quick as they can, which definitely relieves a lot of the pressure that this Hawks team usually has on other teams.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, as I see in chat, a lot of people cheering on Jonesy, but I don't blame them whatsoever. In game number 1, he carried the defense with 3 saves in the first minute, and afterwards just kept on piling on those saves. And in this game, he's got the shots on net. He's currently has 3 shots on net and the goal. He's playing really well right now on all sides of the field, and honestly, he's the one that's really kept this team going so far this series.
Yeah, Jonesy, the star player of the Spartans lineup last season, along with Bob. And Jonesy, even though being the lowest MMR on the team, definitely still showing that he's one to look out for. Mitch almost getting the dunk to find the net. Roth's looking for the shot, and that will lead to 2-1 for the Hawks, which could be looking at the end of game 2.
15 seconds left to go. Oh, sorry, my bad. I cut you off there. Go ahead.
Nah, it's okay. I was just going to say it's a great passing play right there from the Hawks. Finally able to make some offense happen.
And they made that magic happen in the last minute there. In the last 15 seconds, no less. And the Spartans are going to need to find a mistake if they want to win this game number 2, but there won't be one. The mistake is on the side of the Spartans, as they can't capitalize on anything more than just once. And they really tightened up here, the Hawks. They have only 6 shots compared to their 15, and yet they have an extra goal from last time. So they've understood quality over quantity, and that allows them to win game number 2 here, as the series is tied at 1.
Yeah, and Mitch just adding insult to injury right there, padding his stats a little bit, as this is definitely a very close matchup between these two teams. Definitely a good matchup you like to see, as it's a very offensive team versus a counterattacking team, which always leads to a lot of goals in a series. As we have seen, I believe there has been 5 from the Hawks and 4 from the Spartans so far.
Yes, exactly. I was wondering where you were going there, but both games saw that one team scored at least 3 goals, and I don't see that trend stopping anytime soon. The defense on both teams, it's not that it's suspect, it's that both offenses are there, right? As I said earlier, the Spartans really love all 3 players are in the offensive zone when they're really pressuring the offensive zone. And that's like saying, screw the defense, right? I'm just going to go full in. And these guys really have gone all in on offense. And they paid the price from time to time for that. Meanwhile, the Hawks, they're playing extremely well on defense, and when they need to, and they're playing extremely well on offense, because that's where they are most of the game, right? They enjoy being in that offensive position, and the Spartans don't mind just staying back a little bit, taking it defensively, and then just clearing out the ball and doing their best to counterattack. The problem is on their counterattacks, they're much too offensive.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be glad to watch at least 2 or 3 minutes of this game, as I actually have to leave at 8, so Quantum will be taking over for me as a whole. But let's just finish out what we can for what time I have left of this Hawks versus Spartans. And the Spartans definitely starting off a little bit strong here, as Jonesy gets a great 50 into the corner of the Spartans, but Ross getting the clear out for the Hawks. Now Insanity sending it downfield with a shot, but it's a great save by Bob to send it to his corner. And Insanity trying to keep up some more pressure for this Hawks team. Now Ross looking to make something happen on his own with a dribble play. It's a good cut off from Jonesy. Now it's a great pass middle for Insanity, who starts off the game strong off of a great pass from Mitch.
Yes, very well played, and the Hawks just continue off where they left off in game 2 here, and their momentum is really high right now. They've got it all right now. They've got it going, they got it flowing, the extreme jitters are gone, and the Spartans are going to need to find something else to counterattack, because they can't find anything right now. Rot's almost scoring there as it goes off the top corner crossbar.
And Mitch playing out of his mind right now with 5 goals as a whole just by himself. Definitely trying to put these goals on his, trying to put the Hawks on his shoulders with these goals.
Yeah, exactly. Normally, as we were talking in the pregame, Mitch was the one to look out for, but so far, Yeah, it seems as if it's Insanity that's done a lot of the play, but Jonesy, all eyes on Jonesy for the Spartans so far, as he's done a magnificent play on his end as well. He's doing his best. So is Insanity, though, absolutely doing what he can. Mitch tries, but Insanity finds this rebound, and he's going to be the one who scores there as Mitch attempts the back wall. Double tap there. He just finds the crossbar instead. Insanity just finds the wide open net.
Insanity again, obviously great at finding these open nets and capitalizing on all the mistakes of this team so far. Definitely showing up here for this whole series was Insanity, bringing his scoring wheels. And now Mitch taking the ball up his own corner, trying to make a clear happen, but it gets 50'd by, I believe that is Bob over there. And now the ball was going in the net, but it's a good pre-flip saved by Rots right there. It's over Renro. Now Bob is last back, does not get the best clear, but Rots only has 0 boost to work with, so he cannot make a ton happen. And it looks like I'm gonna have to be heading out here. I am sorry for leaving a little bit early, but it was definitely fun. And I'm going to thank Quantum here for going solo for a little bit as to help me out.
No issue there. I got only a game, maybe 2 games and a half here left to go. See you, Squintle. Good luck with your game tonight. And let's continue on here, ladies and gentlemen. 2-0 so far in the way of the Hawks. Remember, Hawks in blue and the Spartans in gray. 2.5 minutes have been played so far in this game number 3. We are tied at 1 the series. And so far, both teams have scored at least 3 goals in their game wins, so I don't think this trend is going to stop, as that's a shot on net by Rots. Another save by Renro here. That's 4 saves for the Spartans off of 7 shots. Only 1 going off of the crossbar there, or the post for the Hawks. That's a great pass, and Mitch is going to finally find the back of the net there. 3-0 with 2 minutes left to go here. Insanity with a great pass, and it's a hook shot and a half for Mitch, who gets it at 112 kilometers an hour, rolling onto the grass. The Spartans don't really have an answer here. As we all know, the Spartans are really a good counter-attacking team, but what is there to counter-attack right now? In game number 1, there was plenty to counterattack, as there were plenty of mistakes on the side of the Hawks. But right now, there is no counterattacks to be had for the Spartans. I don't see a way for them to get back into this, honestly, unless they change up their game plan. Because right now, the Hawks are playing too comfortably. They are playing too well, and they are not making as many mistakes, and not enough mistakes for there to be capitalization on the end of the Spartans. A ball is, though, in the Hawks zone, but there seems to be pretty comfortably in the defensive end. No one's really overextending. No one is overdoing their job. That's a great save by Renro coming back, but no one's there to help him out, as he has no more boost. He tries to flip into it to make the save off of Mitch there, but nah, there's just nothing he can do, and Mitch just finds the wide open net. Top corner with 1:06 to go. 4-0, and that's going to be the Hawks most probably taking the series lead 2-1 here. They have a minute to take a 4-goal lead. 0 seconds, that's one that goes off the post, and Mitch narrowly misses getting his hat trick there. Mitch has 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 saves, and 4 shots. This game, 2-2-2-4 is his stat line. That's a really good stat line, as Bob finds the back of the net for his team. His team won't get shut out this game, but with 48 seconds left to go, it is plausible, but not very conceivable that they score 3 goals in 48 seconds. But never say never. We've seen crazier here in the RLPC. That's a great shot by Bob, who got it past 2 guys at the same time there, as they both went to make this save. So let's see what the Spartans can bring at the end of this game here, because they really do need to play a different style of a game here. There's not that many mistakes on the side of the Hawks, and there's nothing much to counterattack, as I said. So They need to start playing their own style of game here. And when pushed up against the wall, you need to change your style, right? You need to get the other team uncomfortable. I've said this time and time again. Getting the opponents uncomfortable is the best way for you to score on them. Get them in positions that they don't like to be in. That's a great save by Jonesy, as that's going to go wide, as Ross tried to find his only goal for that game, but he could not. And honestly, that the whole Spartans team are playing really well. Everyone playing very good defensively, but they just can't find the offense because there's nothing to be had there in the style of play. On the other side of the pitch, Mitch with a 2-2-2-4 and Insanity with a 2-1-1-3 stat line. Those two working really well together chemistry-wise in this game number 3, and that allows them to score 4 goals combined. And honestly, the Spartans need to step up their game. They need to find a different game. That's exactly what they need to do here if they want to win this series. They need to win 2 in a row, though, now, as game number 4 is underway. That ball is going to come towards the front of the net. Rots trying desperately to find a goal. He still can't find one since game number 2. Jonesy with a shot towards the front of the net. That's a nice save by Rots. Rots, well, he can't find the goals. He can't find those saves, and he's got a nice one there. Mitch gets it over one, and he keeps it in the corner, but get it past Jonesy. Jonesy is backwards, though, and that allows for Rots to finally get his goal. That clear was not hard whatsoever because he was backwards here. And Insanity, with a nice interception of the clear attempt, makes it go straight in the middle, and he was right there for the taking. The ball was right there for the taking, and Rots slams it home. 1-0 with 30 seconds down in this game so far. That ball is going towards the front of the net. Insanity is going to make the save there. There were 2 people ready to make the defensive play there, and Jonesy is going to find the back of the net after Mitch scores on the wrong goal. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I see many of you have gotten verbal abuses, sub-gifts from last game. Please spam the bean emotes, ladies and gentlemen. That was a bean and a half, and oh my goodness. You hate to see that, scoring on yourself when the game is this tight. Insanity, though, gives his team back the lead and says no problem to Mitch, that he can just carry it right here. It's a great pass by Rots, and that net is absolutely wide open. No one there, even in the same postal code, to make that save, and that allows the Hawks to take a 2-1 lead. That ball is up off of the wall for Rots, over to Mitch, over to Insanity. That's going to go into the corner. Insanity's going to get to it first, but he gets bumped on his behind, and that's going to allow the ball to be cleared, and Mitch is the last man back. See, this what the Spartans weren't doing game number 1, game number 2. All 3 of those guys on offense would have been cheating, and Mitch would not have been there if he was playing on the side of the Spartans during those games 1 and 2. That's what we want to see on the side of the Spartans when they do go on offense. We don't want a full-out offensive attack or onslaught, because if that does happen once again, there's a good clear, and there's no one in the net to be able to stop that if it goes on net. That ball for Mitch. He's in the corner. There's a demo that happened on, I do believe that was Renro. And yeah, he spawned right as the ball came over to him. That ball is in the Hawks corner. That goes towards the Spartans corner. And Insanity's going to get to it, but he gets demoed for his try. Rots gets demoed for his attempt as well. And Insanity down to Rots. Rots with his second goal there. He has a 2-1-1-3 so far stat line. And Mitch, still with only 22 points, he's done nothing this game. That doesn't matter. Rots and Insanity have been doing it all, and the Spartans just cannot respond here. The Spartans known for their counterattacking, but I've said this too many times. I think I'm beating the dead horse, as there's nothing to counteract. The Hawks are just playing too good right now, and despite Mitch not performing in this game number 4, they're dominating the Spartans, and that's really hard to do. No one's really been able to dominate the Spartans, but so far that's what the Hawks have done all series long. Even the game they lost, they were dominating. Jonesy, though, brings it back to a 1-goal game with 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go. The Hawks, like I said, were dominating game number 1. They had 15 shots. They had all the offensive pressure. They just had the stream jitters. Now, though, 2 minutes and 25 seconds left to go. We are close right now in this game, but the Hawks still seem to have the advantage. Only 3 shots on the end of the Spartans. 4 shots for the Hawks, but all of their shots are on net, and they were dangerous each time they've shot so far. They only take shots when absolutely necessary, and they also get crucial demos like that one in the air by Mitch. What a beautiful demo there. But Jonesy finds a wide open net, and he's going to get his hat trick. He's the only one on his team so far that has scored this game, and honestly, he's absolutely carried his team so far this entire series. We were talking about him in game number 1 for getting 3 saves in the first minute. We talked about him in game number 2 for getting the most goals. We didn't talk about him as much in game number 3, but in this game number 4, once again, he's got the hat trick. And so far, the Spartans have pulled back, and it's back to tied. 1:50 left to go in game number 4. They need to win both of these games, though, so there needs to be a lack of errors on their side. They've been making a lot of them, a few double commits here and there, but not just that. They've seemed to have found a way to get the Hawks slightly uncomfortable here, to get them out of their defensive zone, and finally into the offensive zone. The Spartans can go and attempt to take some shots, but when they seem a lot more comfortable in their defensive zone as well, as that shot is weak, and that's stopped by Bob very easily. That is dangerously in the middle, though, and that's going to be missed! Oh, wow. Bob, that is very close to going in off of that redirect. Very, very, very narrowly missed, and Mitch off of the cheat once again. We were talking about how the Spartans need to stop cheating on offense. All 3 once again cheat, and that leads to Mitch scoring a goal. That's 3 times in 4 games that the offensive cheating of the Spartans has led to a goal. That ball is now in the zone of the Spartans, and it seems as if all the momentum gained from the Spartans is gone. That's going to be a purposeful miss by Mitch, and that's Rotz trying to clear it, and that's insanity over to Rotz, and look, the offense. Oh my goodness, Jonesy got back in time, but the offense there, they were on a 2-on-0, and that just goes off the post. That could have easily been a goal there and take it to 5-3, and the Spartans are let off the hook this time. They have 23 seconds to tie up this game. Can they do it and get to overtime? No, they can't. I do believe Rotz has just put in the dagger here. 5-3, 19 seconds to go. That is a very hard shot, and Renro did his best. I don't think that was going to go on in the net, but Renro does his best there. And a little bit of banter to just throw the Spartans a little bit extra their game. And that is so close for Renro to score there. Almost getting back the goal that he just scored on his own team there. But it's all but over with 4 seconds left to go. The Hawks will take the series, and they'll go back to a 500 record for 4. But the Spartans are 5-3 after this series loss. They just could not counterattack. Jonesy doing his absolute best, but he could not counter a whole team by himself. He just could not carry